The plot of this story seems to be ripped from the headlines, or a movie about a big conspiracy or a cover-up of foul play. But the story is 100% true. In 2003, a top executive of the pharmaceutical giant GlaxoSmithKline, worldwide vice president of genetics, confessed that the vast majority of drugs, more than 90%, only work in 30 to 50% of the people. What that means is most prescription drugs don't work on most people who take them. Dr. Alan Roses is the pharmaceutical industry insider who made this shocking confession. Although it's been an open secret within the pharmaceutical industry that most of the drugs it produces are ineffective in most patients, this is the first time that a high-ranking pharmaceutical executive has gone public. Some industry analysts said that the confession of Dr. Roses is reminiscent of the famous words uttered by Gerald Ratner, a British retail magnate in 1991, who said that his high street shops are successful because they sell total crap. But it's one thing for a company to sell worthless products, and it's another thing altogether to sell worthless products that kill instead of heal. In the U.S., the odds of being killed by conventional medicine are almost 20 times, 2,000% greater than being killed in an automobile accident, and almost 30 times, 3,000% greater than being killed by a gun. It's no wonder that the majority of doctors are frustrated. They entered the medical profession wanting to cure people, but the only tools that medical school training provides them for treating patients are drugs and surgery. Doctors have been thrust headlong into a marketing culture that relies on selling as many drugs as possible to the widest number of patients. It's a culture that has made Big Pharma the most profitable industry in the world, even though most of its drugs are useless at best, and even possibly harmful or deadly for many patients. Dr. Roses, an academic geneticist from Duke University in North Carolina, further states, drugs for Alzheimer's disease work in fewer than 1 in 3 patients, whereas those for cancer are only effective in a quarter of patients. Drugs for migraines, for osteoporosis and arthritis work in about half the patients. The growing sentiment among doctors is that they want to offer their patients more treatment choices for curing disease than the medical system offers. One member of that growing number of doctors is Dr. Paul Beals. I want to do more for my patients than what's offered by the pharmaceutical industry, because I realized earlier on that modern medicine has become, unfortunately, more of a big business than a healing science. Some time ago, Dr. Beals focused his medical practice on holistic nutrition and complementary medicine. He set up a holistic program for cancer, heart disease, diabetes, stroke, liver disease, and other diseases. His challenge, however, was finding the resources for treating diseases because conventional medicine offered only drugs and surgery. He stumbled upon a book of medical breakthroughs and forbidden treatments that contained all the cures he was looking for. Interestingly enough, the book was written for the layperson, the general public, not medical professionals. And yet, he was impressed to discover that every alternative treatment and healing breakthrough presented in the book was thoroughly researched, meticulously fact-checked, and verified for its effectiveness. And it also came with footnotes from peer-reviewed, published medical research and scientific studies. He now regards the book as the gold standard, the Bible for alternative medicine, and believes it should be in everybody's home and in every doctor's office. Dr. Beals is not alone in his high regard of the book. Countless enlightened doctors from around the world are avid fans of the book and use the treatments presented in the book when they themselves or their family members are stricken with diseases or health problems. Dr. Richard Simmons thinks that everyone needs this book of medical breakthroughs and forbidden treatments in order to take control of their own health. Dr. Simmons is a medical doctor who sits on the faculty at Ohio State University, where he's an associate professor of ophthalmology. He's also the former chairman of the Alternative Medicine Committee of the Columbus Medical Association. Dr. Simmons' wife developed cancer 6 years ago and underwent surgery, which put the cancer in remission temporarily. A year ago, her cancer came back, and instead of turning to conventional cancer therapy, he and his wife turned to the discoveries presented in the book to help prevent further surgery and further progression of the disease. A doctor friend of Dr. Simmons, whose practice is based in Hawaii, started developing cataracts. A chapter of the book revealed a discovery about some little-known eye drops, and he began administering the eye drops on himself and noticed significant improvement in vision. He continues to take the drops to this day. The Book of Medical Breakthroughs and Forbidden Treatments contains dozens of cures for the most prevalent diseases that plague mankind, such as a $200 cure for AIDS HIV, a patented low-voltage device that stops the AIDS virus dead in its tracks. This inexpensive in-home device costs only $200 and is safe for home use. A Nobel Prize nominee cures cancer with 2 common household items: a simple protocol for cancer treatment and prevention based on the use of small amounts of 2 inexpensive food substances combined together in specific proportions. Numerous independent clinical studies prove that these 2 food items provide a powerful and effective means of treating even the most advanced cancers. This method was shown to have a 90% success rate in saving terminal cancer patients from certain death. An infrared helmet that has a 90% success rate in halting the progression of Alzheimer's disease. There's a space-age helmet that uses new light beam technology to reverse Alzheimer's in as little as 30 days when used 10 minutes a day. An extremely potent anti-inflammatory breakthrough does wonders for arthritis sufferers. Over 3 decades of painstaking research has led to the development of an anti-inflammation remedy that reduces swollen joints by 79%. The anti-arthritic marine lipids derived from a New Zealand mollusk have been tested extensively at the University of Queensland in Australia, and the results are quite dramatic. An herb that virtually eradicates heart disease. There's an herb that has been used overseas to treat 15,000 cardiac patients over a 20-year period, and there has been no recurrence of their disease. Dr. Ross Anderson, a doctor of naturopathic medicine, ND, and chiropractic physician, DC, was constantly looking for ways to identify the root cause of his patients' problems. He devoted many years of study looking for answers to the diverse health problems of his patients. He found the answers he was looking for in the same book of medical breakthroughs and forbidden treatments that has been praised by laypeople and doctors alike. "This book goes far beyond anything I've ever used," said Dr. Anderson. "It's absolutely one of a kind. It's so complete, so precise, so easy to use." He particularly appreciates how simple it is for anyone to look up a disease in the index, then flip to the pages of the book that features the disease, and find treatments, procedures, healing modalities, and supplements that are not only effective, but also inexpensive, non-invasive, and free of side effects. This book is something that every alternative physician, and ultimately every regular physician, and every patient is going to want in their home or office so that they can get the most benefit and the answers that are necessary to get their health condition handled. Books offering miracle cures for practically every disease are available everywhere, but oftentimes they present content that is erroneous, inaccurate, poorly researched, and unsubstantiated by science. It's no wonder that doctors and scientists ridicule such cures as nothing more than folklore or kitchen table wisdom. This book of medical breakthroughs and forbidden treatments, however, presents only scientifically validated cures that have been proven to work. The book is not available in bookstores. Once you're ready to discover real cures for virtually every disease, click on the link at the bottom of this webpage.